My name is Esé Grembowski, and I am the designer and owner for Esé Azénabor Atelier. What inspired me to be a designer? Uh, well, I didn't really start, I won't say fell on my lap. It was more of a hobby in the beginning. I've been designing since I was 8 years old. Even before that, my mom would tell me wild stories of me taking her fabrics and cutting them into pieces and making a dress or a skirt or pants out of her expensive African materials that she had in our home back in Nigeria when I was growing up. But I didn't follow the path of becoming a fashion designer. I went to school, like most African parents will make you do, which I'm so grateful for. I went to high school in Canada, went to university in Canada, moved to the United States back in 2010 to actually continue a master's degree in accounting, business administration minor in accounting. During my first semester, I decided to take a detour and really see where this fashion thing will lead. And I actually started in 2012. It wasn't bridal at first. It was just evening wear, haute couture, red carpet garments. And Dallas is known for its charity events, red carpet events. And that's pretty much business started that way for me, where clients will approach me for a gown for a gala, for a charity ball. And the wedding gown business just really fell on my lap when one of my clients in 2014, which was an evening wear client, was getting married and wanted me to design her wedding dress. And I just remember being so nervous and scared because it's a whole different genre, it's a whole different territory for me. And when I think about wedding, I think about Bridezilla. That's the first thing I think of. But it was amazing. It went viral. And I mean, here we are today. It's a whole spin around, I guess you say. My source of inspiration for my designs, number one, to be honest, comes from God, because I go to sleep literally and dream about my designs. And that only has to be from God. So I always give credit to him for that. And of course, my culture is very influenced in my design, and just, other cultures too. Before I got married, I traveled a lot internationally, and I draw a lot of inspirations from where I've been, and I just try to tie them into modern design mixed with vintage designs, mixed with traditional looks, and just tie it all together in a bowl to create a true Esé Azénabor couture piece. So being an African designer, here in the United States, first of all, before I even go into that, I am the sort of person that only sees and try to see the positive in everything. And being an African a designer here in the US with an accent and from a different country and color black, people can easily just look at that and say, well, that's going to be very difficult for you. But to be honest, it was not difficult for me. It was difficult in the sense of business standpoint, because I was learning about how to run a business. I was learning about who my client was. I was learning to interact with people that are not my, regular people that I would, communicate with on a daily basis. I was learning all of that, and that took a lot of time. But as far as an African, I use that as my inspiration. I use that as my drive, because if you're an African woman or an African person, period, you know that your parents have instilled in you that if you're going to do something, you better be the best at it. You cannot just go in there and say, well, no, we don't have an excuse. There's no room for excuses being an African woman. And I was already on thin ice, leaving my career to come and pursue this unknown career that what they call the career of the unknown, because you don't really know if it's going to be successful or not. And if I was going to do it, I want to be compared to the best of the best, and I'm going to only do the best way possible. And with that instilled in me, I took that and I ran with it, and I said, well, I'm going to become a fashion designer, so I'm going to be one of the best. I'm going to be up there compared to the best of the best, and not people that are striving to do this without really knowing what it takes to do it. So I was going to do research. I was going to do research about how to run the business, research on how to make my work presentable in a way where it's 10 years from now, when you look at it, it does not look like she just started designing. It looks like she knew what she was doing from day one. The clean work, the attention to detail, that was all important to me. So I would say that my difference, I guess, being an African, is what makes me stand out in the design world. And I love everything about it. And that's why I kept my name and like my last name in that brand. And we could talk about all day about that, but yeah. I mean, fashion and music do connect in a way that they're both arts. You know, when you in the fashion world, you wear art, you wear presentable, something that you've created out of nothing really into something so grand, and it's art, it's a wearable art. And music is art as well, but in voice, in the tongue, right? So I do believe they do connect in a way where, and I mean, when a new artist or a new music comes out and it's a virtual video of the music, we want to see what they're wearing, how they're going to tie the story that they're trying to tell with their voice with what they're wearing, right? And that's really how you can know what they're really talking about without just voicing it, but you want to know right away what they're going to sing about by what they're wearing. And I do believe that's what connects them in that way or ties them together. AFRIMMA is doing such an amazing job bringing in African artists, African talents into not just the US, but the entire world. African comedy, African music, African charities, the fashion, just bringing that all into not just the US, but the entire world. And I mean, kudos to AFRIMMA for the great job they're doing. So I do believe fashion connects people in a way of allowing people to express themselves and express how they're feeling. They're feeling sexy. There's fashion to help communicate that. They're feeling cold, or they're feeling warm, or they're feeling angry, or whatever the case may be. Fashion allows them to express their feelings and express their personalities. And yeah. My proudest moments being a fashion designer, it's so funny, I never really get to sit back and smell the roses or know what my moments are until I'm asked this question and I have to sit back and think about it. But number one is for sure opening my showroom, my atelier / showroom, well, not slash, my atelier and showroom. I'm so proud of that. This was a dream. I started in my 1-bedroom apartment in downtown Dallas, where my entire living room area / dining room was my showroom atelier, and then I had my bedroom for myself. And clients would actually come in there, and my dream was to one day have my showroom where I can display my beautiful art, have employees to help me build a team, and one of my biggest, proudest moments is definitely accomplishing that. And I mean, if you have told me 5 years ago that I will be here, I'll be like, when is this going to happen? It looks so far away. And I'm so honored that, I mean, it's something that I'm able to do. And I've been doing this for the past 5 years, actually. I've been in that showroom for 5 years. So that's amazing. Number two is getting brides to actually trust us to fly in from all over the world. I still pinch myself that a bride will actually get on a plane from Paris just to come to my showroom here in Dallas for a wedding dress. Like, that is still unreal. No matter how many times it happens, I still pinch myself. So that's a very humbling feeling for sure. And it makes me understand that the wedding business or the dress business is past me, it's more than me. Esé Azénabor Atelier, it's its own entity now, and I am so grateful to it. And I guess my third would be celebrities actually trusting us to create their gowns and for an important event. Taraji P. Henson wearing one of our couture evening wear lines for her show on Power. Tara Banks, Portia Williams, Michelle Williams, Latoya Lockett, Vivica Fox. I mean, I can go on and on and on. Kelsey Ballerini. I mean, it is just amazing to see these people in the public eye respecting our brand and wanting to be dressed up in it. So I am so blessed and so honored to be where I am today. Fashion is art. Fashion is life. It's literally life for me. It's expressive. Is, for me, number one is God showing off how he can just, because I didn't learn this. I did not go to school for this. So when I just wake up and have an idea and I create something out of that idea, is God showing off. So that's what it is for me. Being an African woman means strength, endurance, wisdom, culture, and just fabulous. It's fabulous.